Hello, hello, hello. How are you today? Welcome back to another live stream. It is July the 28th on a wonderful Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific. I hope you had a good weekend. How you doing? What you been up to? Did you have a good weekend? Let me know in the chat. Technically, I have, since you asked, so thank you for asking. I had the weekend off, but I worked a lot of it. So I didn't have anything planned, but I thought, I'm going to work. I'm going to do some work. So that was nice. Also getting out and about in the sun. What about you? What about you? What about you?
What about you? What did you get up this weekend?
I've been in a hypnosis creation overload at the moment. Although there's going to be episode 1146, would you believe it? I've recorded, other than this episode, up to 1150. So, take that. Take that. Relax. That's right. 1,150. Oh my goodness. Would you believe it? I do. I wonder how many more. So who have we got in the chat? We have the most amazing flyer in the air. We have Jen. Suitably fitting the moving colors to her background. Samantha is back for the 1146th time. That commitment. How crazy is that, Samantha? Showing up for even before I went live streaming, you were there. Because I must have just been doing these live in the late 700s or something. But you were there for all the others. We have the amazing Linda. Good. Well, thank you. Yes, I think we'll enjoy this episode. I think so. Did you hear that? Hey Mina, how are you doing? You were there, see? I knew it. The commitment. Committed to show up even before live streaming even existed. Did you hear that though? Can you hear that?
Perfect.
I did. I think I've gone hiking and long walking up and down hills every day for a minimum of an hour, doing my mindset work. So I thought I'd been doing something. I'm mixing it up a little bit. So I've got these. No commission from Apple. But I used to take two, one in each ear. But now I just take one ear pod. And that means I can hear nature. So I'm getting the insight, seeing the nature, and hearing it. And I found that to be really, really fun. So let that be a good lesson maybe. If you're out, don't be locked away just into music or audio stuff. So yeah, went for nice hikes. Nothing fascinating has popped up on the hikes. There was one thing, but I cannot remember it. Oh, okay, there was one. So I was getting into the hike a little bit, and there was a pair of shoes and a water bottle. What's all that about? Did someone leave their shoes and water bottle? Was it a missing 411 case? Yeah, so had the weekend off, because 2 Saturdays a month I do my coaching call, which will be this Saturday for those in the program. And, I got another cool thing to share with you on Saturday. Very cool. And so I thought, yeah, I'm going to have a nice weekend. And then I thought, I'm going to plan my streams on Saturday. So I plan my stream on Saturday. So therefore, I don't have to do them on Sunday. And then I was like, well, I've done the streams. Let's play around a little bit. So I was playing around a bit of AI for a new project, which has been out for a while with my people in my program. But I wanted to kind of enhance it, make it better. And then I was like, well, I'm going to just do a hypnosis session. So I created a hypnosis session. And then I created another one. So we've got on the way, as requested, toxic relationship release and fear of motorways, highways, and actually I didn't do all those on Saturday. I did some of those on Friday, I think. So I've actually, we are based on our discussion, I had to record highway, freeway, and motorway, all in meditation, day, sleep, and 4-hour sleep. Now I don't record all of them. There's technically 3 tracks of it. It's technically 2 tracks of each, but I take the traditional day one and then add on some extra stuff, and then I obviously loop some things, because 4 hours, I'm not going to be speaking for 4 hours. Sorry, I'm not going to do it. Not a chance. No
way.
So I recorded those throughout the week, but then I recorded these other sessions. And then today I was like, well, fear of dogs, that's requested, so I thought I could do that one. Oh, and watch out, this coming, whatever day of the 1st is, whatever day of the 1st is, we have got out. Are you ready for this? Released in August already. Inner critic or inner criticism, magnetic charisma, reignite and refocus. That's just one title. Rekindling love. So if you're in a relationship and you want to just kind of get back, rekindling that love, and then self-care. So that's going to be out on the app on the 1st. I've been uploading all the data today, all the images, the bit size, the timing, the descriptions, all in day, night, 4-hour sleep, and meditation. So those are going out this fast. So very, very soon. So I've been busy. Crazy busy day today. I've been editing the coaching call with my dad, and that's funny. And that, yes, it is safer to not have your both earbuds in, or pods, or whatever you call them. Ooh, no, not really, because we haven't had any rain since then. And there's a bit of the fire retardant still there. So it's got a bit of a reddish color. But I was hiking near there today. Wasn't quite looking, but my other hike at the weekend I did notice. Hey Cheryl, welcome back to the live stream. to your Tuesday all the way in Australia. Oh, and YouTube, we'll get started soon. We usually start, look at your watches, everybody, about 1:15. Whatever time zone you're in. But we did say YouTube. YouTube, didn't we? We've had conversations with YouTube. About YouTube. And I'm pleased to say we have manifested the views up again a little bit. We're now, I don't know what I said last week, but now we're at 115,000 views, which I think about 10,000 more. So we're getting there. And subscribers are about, well, it says 921 in the last 28 days. So we're getting back. We're getting back. Oh my goodness. That is ridiculous. That is, if I had, I want to buy another one of these for just doing things like, see, if I had it earlier, I'd be able to do it all. That is hot. 98 degrees. I don't know why, but I think of major freeways such as major is like I-5. That, Mina, is the Californian of you. Californians, that is what they say. In fact, isn't it an old skit, I think maybe on Saturday Night Live, when they kind of give directions? Maybe I'm hallucinating this, but okay, like go to the I-5, go to the 10, go to the 220, go to the 4th. I don't know. So that just to me shows you're in California. Look at that. That is awesome. Get involved in the program. It's an investment to your transformation. Aren't things just showing up amazingly? They are for me. I want to see. I've got no snow on this one though. Wow, I kind of did for my Christmas stream. Linda, have you been on a Christmas streams where we do like quizzes? This one. I don't know if I can speed it up a little bit. Ready for some snow? I need to move your comment for a second. Come on, snow. Oh no. Where's the snow? I don't know. Got that there. Such a long video file. But I cannot find it. Is that snow? Oh well, you know what I mean. There's snow somewhere in this scene. But it's not Christmas, so there you go. Yes. That was funny. Was it that funny? I don't think it was that funny. Oh my goodness. Crazy. Well, it's about 75 where I am, so I should send some of mine your way. I don't know what else we've got to talk about. I think that's pretty much it on my side. That's awesome. It's been such a long time, and I've done so many streams. I forget sometimes. I do forget, so I do apologize. And we've done like 3 or 4 of them now. But that's awesome, but you dodged out of alternative plans. Okay, so should we get on with the show? Shall we? Episode 1146. But yeah, just as a quick reminder before we go, we've got new hypnosis sessions coming out. Rekindle Love was one. Self-Care was one. Magnetic Charisma. I like that one. And Inner Critic, or the Inner Criticism. And Reignite and Refocus, which is based on the Create Your Day. Oh, we just put a new app update out for Android. Nothing crazy new, but some like bug fixes. And also Apple is under review. It's waiting for review, so hopefully today or tomorrow, it'll mean that we can get some more fixes out. Tomorrow I've got a meeting with a company I'm working with to make the app even better. Crazy expensive, but it's going to make the app better. Crazy investment, I should say, because it's going to make the app so much better. And then on Monday I want to do a hypnotic meditation, but we'll see. We'll see. But let's get to it. I'm going to move the chat. I'm going to move the chat down here. Feel free to comment, as long as it's nice comments. You go, oh, that's important, and I might glance at it and then expand upon what you say. I might do, if I can. So, yeah. See what you think. Wow, we are implementing something soon. Something crazy. And then the next iridation, is that the word? Is going to be even better. Even better. I've got to wait a couple of weeks because the system I'm using is going for a whole new studio upgrade, which is going to make the present thing I've shared with my clients even better. But I've got to wait for this upgrade to happen so I can dial it in and refine it. And then it'll take a few days of full-time work of the app developers to put it in there. But it's going to be a brand new feature. A brand new feature. And it's going to be awesome, I think. I don't want to speak too soon, because I'm waiting on this studio upgrade. But it'll be happen by the end of the year, without a doubt. But if I can get it in the next month, I want to get it in the next month. Like, as soon as it's ready and dialed in, I want to do that. And then, obviously, more hypnosis sessions in general as well. But anyways, let's go on with the show. There's going to be episode 1146. Let me hydrate real quick. And see what I'm doing. I've got to change what I'm looking at so I don't get distracted. Without sharing, Linda, to the stream, because it's going to be a surprise, you know what it is. But it's going to be within the app. Don't share it on stream, but you know what it is. And if anyone else I've shared it with, don't say it on the stream. It's going to be a surprise. Whatever you do. Otherwise, I'll revoke access. And I'll never put it on the app again. Right, I would put it on the app. But don't share. It's secret. There you go. So that's going to be within the app very, very soon. That's the benefit of being in my program, by the way, because all the magic stuff happens in there. We have group coaching calls where we kind of show up, we have a chat, I speak, I teach, we do customized group hypnosis sessions. And I kind of teach what I've been personally testing for a while on myself. You also get these crazy cool modules, but you also get access to the new developments that I'm creating behind the scenes ultimately. So it is an investment to your development, but it's a good one. I love it. So let's get to it. Episode 1140. Oh, I've got to turn the music off. 1, 2, 3 abrupt. And then 1, 2, 3 this one. And then this one. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 1146. And today we are doing a power talk all about growth. And in a way, it's going to be some of the downsides of growth. Because we've kind of talked about elements of this in the past. But for any goal or dream that you have, there's always going to be a drawback. And those drawbacks are going to be unconscious saboteurs, right? They're going to sabotage you without even realizing or knowing. It might create procrastination. It might create anxiety, worries, and doubts, which we know of or we don't know about. We just have this feeling of anxiety when we think of the goal of a dream life that we'd like to have or to be the person. So the analogy I've always said, because it's so obvious to be painted into our minds, is if you wanted to be like a celebrity, there's going to be lots of drawbacks to being a celebrity. More money, more taxes, fake friends, expectations, lack of privacy, many things. New friends who are taking advantage, the need to continue relevant. Like there's so many potential negatives. But as I said, that's not really the real problem. Because for any goal or outcome, there is going to be a negative to it. Even as simple things like being in a relationship. You might go, yeah, I really want to be in a relationship. But of course, you have to sacrifice elements of yourself and your life in order to be in a relationship. Whether that be through time, whether that be having to help. Despite the relationship being great, there's going to be a sacrifice. If you want to get healthy, there's going to be sacrifices and drawbacks. Maybe having a clean diet, maybe working out. All of those things, buying new clothes. And then even people reacting to you differently because you've changed your physical appearance. So this power talk is going to go on 3 different kind of levels when it comes to the grander scheme of potential negatives. Now, it's important to know these because your unconscious mind is having them anyway. Regardless of what you think, your unconscious mind will be repeating stories, beliefs, ideas, other people's opinions deep beneath the surface. And it'll be just showing up into your reality or your actions or your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs, no matter what. So wouldn't it be better to allow the unconscious sabotaging aspects of us, the negatives to our goals and dreams, to come up to the surface, to become conscious of them, so therefore you can take action upon them or become at peace with them? You see, some people want to be that celebrity and go, do you know what? Even though I lack privacy, that's okay. Be at peace with it. So some things we cannot change and we can become at peace with. Sometimes we become aware of them and take action to mitigate the potential of it, which then sends a signal to your unconscious mind that you don't need to sabotage anymore, right? So here's the thing. Most of us listening to this, we want to be the authentic self, right? We want to show up as ourselves. And of course, if we don't, we have the imposter syndrome, we have the people pleasing, we have the anxieties and worries of what other people think of us. We have the perfectionist aspect to it. But ultimately, the price of being authentic, so that's the downsides of not being authentic, the people pleasing us on. But we have to take a real look in the mirror and go, well, what is the price of being authentic? Because if you are going to be authentically you, it is going to likely bring a form of dislike. So ultimately, people might not like the you that you're now presenting. Maybe you've been presenting this other aspect, the people pleaser. Now suddenly the person you've been with for a long time or friends now don't see the people pleaser. And that might not resonate with them because maybe we've been pretending for so long. So realize when you step into being authentic or the authenticity of you, there are going to be people who are not going to agree with that because it doesn't bow down to their expectations or their own limitations, right? If you go proudly and 100% go, do you know what? I'm worthy of getting this type of relationship, or I'm worthy and deserving of earning X amount per month, or I'm worthy and deserving of setting up my own business. And you're saying it from the authentic self, like that's on your heart. What if someone doesn't believe that they're worthy of the same goal, or they just cannot try it on, or it's just not their goal? They're going to project their reality onto your reality. So be aware, the price of being authentic will cause some people to try to drown out that mission, vision, that ambition, that goal, that outcome of being authentic. So just become conscious of that. Then if we take the authenticity part of it, well, if we want to be authentic, but chances are we want to also have success, successful relationships, successful career, maybe a successful business, a successful, like in my life, one of my highest values on every category is success. Because I believe success will allow me to get all the things that I want. That's just how my value structure I designed for myself. Successful apps, successful clients, success for myself, and all those things. And to a degree, we all want a form of success. Like I'm sure you want a successful relationship or a successful business, career, health, and all those things as well. But when you are aiming for success, and I'm going to relate this directly to England. Sorry, England, I do love you. But it is different from me being over here in America. You see, in America, there is that theme and form of, you know, the land of opportunity, that anyone can make it, right? There is that historic feel about going to America and becoming something, going to LA, becoming an actor, or creating a business. Like there's that element of the land of the free, ultimately. Whether you believe it now or not, forget about that, but just think about that as a culture, historically. Well, unfortunately in England, I feel, it may not be all areas, but I've spoken to a lot of people about this, who have been in America, gone to England and vice versa. And it's called like tall poppy syndrome, where if you can imagine these flowers, you know, the poppies, they're kind of all rising up together. And then if there's one which comes higher, then we take that one down to keep everyone in alignment. So as soon as you start to rise up for your goal and dream, you're getting that success, because that's the theme here on this one. We're getting that success. There are going to be some people wanting to pull you down. So if you think of success from zero going up like a bell curve, you're going to want to get higher and higher and higher. Well, some people are going to want to bring you down to their level. And by their level, I'm not saying it simply because they're below you when it comes to that. It's just their mentality, right? They want familiarity. They want similarities. They want people to buy into their own delusion or their own illusion of what is possible. So the price of success is like this tall poppy syndrome. We're trying to keep everything in alignment, everyone on the same kind of level, and therefore not being able to grow beyond that. Like I said, I know I said about America being a little bit different because of that historic culture, but it still exists in America, trust me. It exists just in a different way. People, for example, if you've grown up in a certain household where maybe your parents didn't have money, well, they might have resentment if you have money. Have you ever thought about that sometimes? Because some people they will purposely, whether it be consciously or unconsciously, not want to do better than their parents in the fear of embarrassing them or the fear of them looking bad. Now, in reality, you would think that parent wants you to rise, but there's that part of us on the inside, unconsciously, which is going to hold back to a certain level. Or maybe we just have different friends or social groups who will not quite see your new success, right? I've had it time and time again, simply based on being, I don't always say entrepreneur, because that can mean so many different things, but I am a business owner. And I do have big goals and dreams to help a lot of people in the world. And we've reached over 24 million downloads on YouTube and on the podcast and so on. That's excluding just downloads of the app. Now, if I presented that grand vision to a friend, they might not be able to think it is possible once again. I go, you can't get that success. Think realistically. But one thing I ask of you is when someone tells you to be realistic, who's the definer of realistic? Who gets to define that? Is it going to be society? Is it going to be your friend? Is it going to be your competitor? Is it going to be someone who has resentment towards you? Or are you going to dictate that? Are you going to be the person who gets to decide what is realistic? So remember, the price of success is going to cause some people to have resentment, jealousy of you. Now, there are some kind of themes about people being jealous, but it's not always a bad thing, right? And what I mean by that, if we believe, I'm going to go a bit off script, although there's always off script, but as you can tell, because I make mistakes in my words, but I was listening to something a while ago about energy in general. So some people may want to have good energy for you. I want to be a big supporter for you. When I think of doing these episodes, doing my hypnosis, I'm seeing you hopefully in the highest light to be the best person. So I want you to be successful. But sometimes when people are envy, it doesn't always have to be like sending daggers. Sometimes sending envy charges the person up from a distance. So it's not always negative. That is why there are some celebrities or people, or even say boxers, fighters, and they have that kind of negative image in front of people. But when people are very envious of them, it's like sending them more energy. So don't always worry if people are envious. Not very nice. It doesn't mean it's going to pull you back though. They're actually kind of putting more energy to you. But you've got to become, if I backtrack, we've got to become aware that some people might resent the success that you want. Now, the third element is this when it comes to what we're talking about right now, which is your self-development. You see, self-development, if we take the word self in it for what it is, it can be potentially a lonely journey. Because you're working upon yourself. It can be very, very hard because you're working against those inner dark aspects to us, the inner shadows, the wounds, the traumas, the limiting beliefs and the anxieties. And I know for me, it was a very lonely beginning to my life when it came to realizing and working or battling my issue, or then trying to solve it. Now, when you start to break free of that, other people will try to hold you to their stories that are not yours. And it's very similar to being the authentic and the successful you. But when you start to improve yourself, some people might get threatened by that. Like you're leaving them behind. Because they want to overindulge in their story still, and you've decided, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm ready to take a stand. I'm ready to do whatever it takes. I'm ready to financially invest in myself. I'm ready to put the time in. Like for me personally, I put an hour at least to my self-development every single day. because I know the dividends will be so much better. Like my workday just gets better and better and better. My productivity, my esteem, my value, what I bring to the world, my intention anyway, I feel far more operational. So putting that time in, or that money and time to get the right expert to get through those unconscious limiting beliefs, there are going to be some people who are going to hold you back there. They're going to hold on to their stories of you, the story of what they think of you. So be prepared for that. These aren't all bad things. These are just being realistic, being conscious. But if we think about those 3 points, right? We've got the price of being authentic, the price of being successful or having a success in life, personally, professionally, or any area. We've got the price of self-improvement in itself, because even like relationships can break down because of that, by the way, because you've suddenly decided to be someone else. So be conscious of these things. Doesn't mean we have to stay small. We can change that person and be with them as a team still, or friends and family. Not everyone's going to bring you down, but just become conscious of those. But here's the real thing. If we do the over the 3 of those, so we said being authentic, success, and also self-development or self-help or whatever you like to call it. And that is believing in something greater than yourself, a higher purpose, that mission, that vision, that ambition. You see, if you start to tune into something greater than yourself, and you start to dwell upon, in a good way, something so much bigger, and be honest, it could be God, it could be universe, it could be something bigger in terms of impact that you want to make by being authentic or being a success, or the byproduct of self-development and self-improvement. Like you, by being that successful, authentic you who's improving yourself, is going to make an impact in the world in some way. You're going to show up as a better boss, a better father, mother, sibling, son, daughter, partner, relationship, you name it. Believing in something greater than yourself, like a higher mission or something higher self, when you operate from that, nothing can hold you back. No, not one person, not one limitation of a story, because you're going into something greater. Like it actually almost makes it not about you anymore. Like when I think about me doing the work, I don't think about myself. I just want to help people, right? And that's a driving force. I don't care what any other people's opinions are about what I do in terms of giving out all my stuff for free, over 1,100 and whatever episode we're on right now. I don't care what people say. People might say it's a bad business decision, but I believe in something greater than that. All the things that I've done, there's going to be people who are going to deny that or think it's unrealistic or fill in the gap, right? But if I trust in that something higher than myself, the mission of what I'm trying to accomplish, any of those voices, any of those opinions is zero business to me. It means nothing. Now, by nothing, I'm not saying I'm diminishing them, but if it is a negative thing, it definitely means nothing. I can appreciate that they're coming from their story. I get that. I understand it. I just don't have to agree with it. It doesn't have to be a part of my narrative. It doesn't have to be a part of my story or the movie of my life or the chapters of my autobiography. Metaphorically, I don't have to include that opinion. I can learn from it, I can dismiss it, I can accept that it's theirs. But when you compare their opinion or their thought or the resistance or the people pulling you down, the people being negative, and you compare it to that bigger than yourself mission, ambition, doesn't matter. All of those opinions and stories will fall away because it's bigger than them, it's bigger than you. Now, if you want to realize how you can find that bigger than you, well, usually you got to do a couple of things. Because when you do this, whole life will transform. Did for me, does for everyone I work with. You see, when you do this, you have to work on the identity of self. Not the behavior, not the feeling, Not the thought, but your identity. What are you identifying to when it comes to what is possible? Now, if you come up with limiting beliefs like I'm not worthy, deserving, enough, not lovable, not capable, that's what you've got to let go of. You've got to let go of that deep-rooted, unconscious, limiting belief, which is giving you all this resistance. Because imagine this, if you were to have a magical experience, and it is magical when you have this, it can take time. Like in my program, within 8 weeks, we'll get there. I really know that. We just do the work. But when you have that undeniable belief of I'm enough, I am love, I'm worthy, then it is possible. You don't care about other people's opinions when it comes to the tall poppy syndrome of success, or when you're being totally authentic because you are enough to be, you're worthy of being you. You don't bow down to those expectations or their limitations. You just believe in yourself, and then it's not a lonely journey either. Like that self-development is actually a beautiful, nurturing thing with your unconscious mind, your best friend. And you're doing it with people who are like-minded, or and that's if you're working with someone like in my program. But no matter which way you do, you have to let go of that hidden root cause. Now, the second element is, if you were to imagine and like suspend that limiting belief for a moment, what is possible? What might you be playful and dream about? Maybe you'd write that book. Maybe you'd do that hobby into a business. Maybe you'll have that relationship, which means you're going to have a deeper connection, maybe a family one day, and all those things. That's something bigger than just the desire. That's bigger than the success. That's bigger than any criticism. So if I were you, I'd be thinking of all the reasons of changing, but also what will happen once I change. What newfound freedoms, even if I can't believe it to happen because the limiting belief is so strong. But if it were to disappear, what would I do? If anything was possible, what would I do? Who would I be? What would I receive? What would I welcome into my life? And you might be excited to find out that something might pop into your mind and go, actually, maybe I'm wanting this. Maybe there is something bigger than myself that I never thought of. And maybe when it comes to us, we might give ourselves permission to finally do it. Because after all, we can stay the same. We can remain the same, not good enough, worthy, or whatever your unconscious root cause for the rest of our life. Or you get to choose today to be able to go a little bit deeper. Get the help you absolutely deserve. The interesting paradigm, by the way, of people who don't believe they're worthy, they're not usually believing they're worthy of help or getting help, or if they don't believe they're deserving, they don't really deserve of investing or putting the time in and all those kind of things, or deserving or getting help from people. But if you are going to change your story once and for all, you've got to go all in. I promise you, life will never be the same again. It really, really won't. I do not regret it. Having let go of my issue, having become a hypnotist at 18, 24 years ago, I can only imagine what my path would have been if I didn't change. It's frightening to even think about. But you're never too late to start now. So go ahead and do what it takes. And of course, if you need my help personally, you can get a consultation with us. And ultimately on that consultation, you book an online call. We get clear on who you are, where you want to be, what's getting in your way. And then if we can solve it for you and with you, we might invite you to the fully customized program. Like imagine custom hypnosis sessions from me, have your name on it, meeting your specific unconscious issue. The program in itself gets the unconscious core, and then throughout all these crazy little processes that we do throughout the program, we just simply and effortlessly make the change you absolutely desire and deserve. There is an investment in time, about an hour and a half a week at the very most, and there is an investment in money because it is all custom, it is all for you. It is getting a team around you to really nurture you to the person that you were born to become. So once again, that is at www.josephclough.info/talk. With that, I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Many thanks and Goodbye. We did it. We did it. Episode 1146. Done. 1046? Done. Did that. Completed it.
Perfect. Wow.
Is that too loud for you? Because it was for me. Hey, Eric, great to have you here. I saw you coming in, but I didn't want to mention you. Well, I did want to mention you, but I can't really on the podcast recording. Thank you, Linda. Very kind of you. And you're more than welcome. And thank you, Cheryl. And thank you, Michelle. I don't know if that was a long one or not, but I wanted to keep on talking. So that's what happens. Things were popping into my mind. And thank you ever so much. Very, very kind of you. I need to hydrate though. So yeah, we did it. We did it. I got a meeting tomorrow regarding the app. Like I said, when I tell people to invest, by the way, I invest significantly every single month into my business, into myself. So I'm not saying it like it's even to invest in my program. Invest in someone else's. I don't really care as long as you get the help. But it is a primary thing we should do, because if it's not an investment and we keep our issue, that is a cost. Like the true cost is not changing, right? So when I say investment, trust me, I do it all the time. I invest an hour a day into my development. When I'm on my hike, especially in the last few weeks, sometimes I used to listen to podcasts, just general things, weird and wonderful things. Stop doing that. I'm just immersing myself in a lot of old knowledge. And I just do that all the time. Throughout the day, I'm doing the work, like the inner reps in my mind, like trying to teach my unconscious mind. It's like pre-teaching it, getting it to know this and that, and this is the success. This is how we can be. There's what we can do. There's what we can achieve. I wonder what will happen if this will happen. I remember when this was like this, but look at it now. Like recently, I've just been going all in. So I want you to know when I say that, I'm not saying it from buy my stuff. Couldn't really care. I know the work effort I put out there, I know it's going to return. Like it does. But I'm just saying generally because it's very, very successful when you do that. It's not a cost. So that's why I mention these things, by the way, just so you know. Thank you, Mina. A lot to think about. A lot to think about. See, if I had another one of these button things, I wouldn't have to scroll and do this. A lot to think about. I should have some thinking music for this scene. Not that though. Maybe. Or maybe that's like a light bulb moment. You can reinvest in it again if you want. I'm only kidding. You get to keep it. Thank you ever so much for that. Oh, so awesome, Eric. That's great. Self-worth and self-love for sure is the big one. Yes. You're not alone there. And thank you. Hey, you superstars, Sue. I sent you an email. Check your email. If you haven't already, let me know. But good morning to you. And I appreciate your kind words as well. Yeah, I like to show up. Do you know, the sentence that I came up with, I think I'm either gonna come up with myself or my unconscious or someone else did it and I just somehow picked it up and thought it was myself. So if it's someone else did it, said it, it's all good. You came out of it and I'm not gonna... Don't sue me. But I always used to think like, be so consistent, results are impossible to be ignored. Like if I can just be so consistent in taking action, thinking, visioning, reimagining my life, if I can be so consistent with it, results cannot be ignored. It's just got to happen. Was that for the ding? Yes. And Linda's in the program. Been through the program. It is absolutely possible. And I thank you, Linda. I do greatly appreciate your kind words and endorsement as well. So there we go. So I don't know when you came on here, Sue and Eric, but I'm releasing on the app on the 1st. So if you've got the app, there'll be a self-care one, rekindling love. So if you're in a relationship, you want to reignite that like spark and love and so on. Magnetic charisma and solving the inner critic or the inner criticism. All in meditation, day, sleep, and 4-hour sleep is going to be on the 1st of August. So we're only a few days away. I've been doing it all morning and post morning. No, I did it before I had to then edit the coaching call. I set myself a time. I was like, I know my dad's going to say he's finished at around 1/4 the hour. So I've got like an hour and a half. No, it's about hour and 45 minutes or so. 9, 10. No, it was 8:30 I started. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You don't need to know all the details, but I'm going to get it done. And we did it. Just before he sent me the message. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Anything else to discuss before we go? Any questions?
What questions do you have? Any questions? Any questions? That was my first office. Can you believe it? It was that long ago. You can see the iPod being charged. And if you didn't see...
That's a desk made of a door. With the place I was renting, that door wasn't on the hinge. I didn't have a desk, so I was like, well, I don't need a door, but I do need a desk. So let's just take the desk. No, let's take the door and make it into a desk. Look at that. Way back in the day, you can see the CDs I used to print off. When I used to sell CDs, I had to burn them. What else can we see there? Filing cabinet of my client kind of business stuff. That box to the right is the is I used to call it the the Yamaha AW1600, which I believe that's the box, which is what I used to record. Like I plug in the mic, record it on this kind of very, what would you call it? Very button based, and then I'd burn it from the same system. And that's where you can see the CDs there. It was a very level desk. It did pretty well. That was in Liverpool, by the way. I was in Liverpool. Have a great week. I'm getting deja vu. You've said this twice now, last 2 Mondays. Am I getting deja vu? I'm sure you said that. Have a wonderful one, Michelle. So pleased you were here to join us, and thank you for your kind words. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be the first person to have a desk like that. Yes, watch this, because I know you kind of, last time you came here a little bit late, watch it. And the key, like there was 3 main things and then an overriding thing we can do to stop it. And then working on the root cause, because when you say things like feelings, so I'm just taking it linguistically, so I might be totally wrong. I just take it as I see it. And we haven't had a conversation. But initially, when you say feelings of inadequacy and imposter syndrome, feelings are going to be a byproduct of a belief most of the time. Like, and if we just take this linguistically, right? Feelings of inadequacy. Well, what is inadequacy? Well, I feel inadequate. I am inadequate, which would then tie it more to a belief system. If I felt adequate, how would that change my experience in the context where the issue's been showing up? It's going to be a lot better than just changing the feeling. Same thing with imposter syndrome. Like, of course, I've got the imposter syndrome session. But there might be an identity and a belief system which is creating, I feel like an imposter. So if you listen to this talk again, if you can probably refresh it now. No, I don't know if you can drag back the play bar. It'll be about 10 plus 15, 25 minutes in, I roughly start a show. Maybe it's just a little bit over that. And then really think about what I'm saying and then go, okay, what's my plan of action? Do I work with someone to let this go? Do I listen to a hypnosis session? What is the root cause? Have a wonderful one, Cheryl. Enjoy your week. Actually, let me just see this. How come, is it because you had a lot of text on yours? See how it is right over to the side? There's no room at the end here. Interesting. Let me scroll back. Let's see, it didn't happen. There's quite a bit of text. Quite a bit of text. I was thinking the more words, that it's bled over, but for some reason Cheryl's one has gone all the way out to the side there. How do we solve that? Well, we'll just probably do that, maybe. But now you're all over there, so if we do that, whoops. What if we do that? Let's see. And then it didn't work, so here we go. So I don't have the belief, I'm just not there. I need my mind to catch up to my body. Right now, every day feels like a struggle to do the basic stuff, even though it seems everything is good. Yeah. So the belief is going to, I've got to change this. But yes, it's going to be about the belief system. That's like anyone who goes into my program, we solely work on identity. The other stuff, that will catch up on its own. Like the confidence, the behaviors, the actions. Like I know because I'm reading and editing this at the same time. You are my priority, but I'm also like, I've got to fix what I've just made a mistake here. I don't know if that's too small text now. I don't know what I've done, Simon. But ultimately, when you create the identity or solve the unconscious identity and formulate a new one, the other stuff will catch up. Like the confidence will catch up, the certainty will catch up, the gratitude will catch up. So think about it like that. Work on the identity as an unconscious cause. Yes, have a wonderful week full of good surprises. Okay, I think I'm kind of happy with this. Until I did that and then it broke. I know most of you left. So I'm just going to fix this by my lonesome. Which I should never do on stream because I'm likely to break things. Right. I like that. You're most welcome, Eric. Look at that. I like that. Good positioning, good size of the picture of that wonderful sunset. And we'll test Cheryl's one here as well. Look at that. In alignment. Good size, good picture, good font. I think we're good. And I'll test one big one. My goodness. Simon. I feel like there must be a setting in here which should like auto shrink, you know, shrink to fit. Would that be a right word? Text box shrink. Okay. I don't like that. There's too much space. Too much space. Well, it's going to be a long stream. Text box truncate. What does text box truncate do? Did that do it? I don't like this at all. Just stay there like that. Let's hope that works. So your identity influences your self-beliefs or the other way around? Well, self-belief is very... Like, we can get very linguistic and some people will disagree. But identity is what we believe about ourselves. So they're one of the same thing. Our identity is the makeup of a belief. So whenever I go, I am, right? That's identity. I am this. So I am not enough, or I am good enough, I am worthy, generates a belief. So just think of it as an I am statement. Like, I identify as someone of not being of worth. I identify as someone of great worth, which generates a belief of I am worthy. Does that make sense? Now, like I said, linguistically, I might be wrong on elements. I'm not a real linguistic person, but I just think from language patterns and how I see things. So I'm sure some scholar will be like, what the goodness are you on about?
What are you on about? That doesn't mean that at all.
But I think you know what I mean by that. Identity. What do I identify with? I identify as someone being not worthy. Therefore, I believe I'm not worthy. So they're kind of one of the same thing, really. Oh, sorry, I'll just bring it back up. I felt that your authentic self is there, but you need to clear off the stuff getting in the way. So that's a really good point, Eric. Because my theory is I am. That's it. Identity-wise, I am. Only when I start to then follow it on with some other stuff, trauma-based experiences or associations. But if I just am, I always was, I just am, right? I don't even associate of I am worthy or I am not worthy, because I just am. When you kind of get to that level, it's everything else is surface level, doesn't have to exist. When you just go, I'm that creator part of me, I am worthy. I said that I am worthy there, but you know what I mean? It's like we have the true self buried upon experience. So when we come into this world, I've said this before a billion times, we're whole. We just are, right? I didn't think, oh, I'm a baby. Oh, I'm this. I had no words to articulate the sense of self. I had the sense of surroundings, but even the sense of surroundings, I probably wouldn't have gone, I'm not safe, because I didn't even articulate that. Only when I come into the world and understand learning language, when my mum said,
Why are you being so silly? Stop being stupid.
My mum probably did say it, but well intentionally, I was probably being silly or stupid. But only then I go, I'm stupid. I'm silly. Or if my teacher says,
Look, if you're not going to learn this, you're not going to learn anything.
and then I interpret that, right? So I'm building upon each. Did we say this on the last episode, Power Talk? But was it on my I don't know. But it's like each level of experience is building a foundation upon the true identity. Well, after a while, the foundation of true self, we don't see it because it's buried. But what we do have evidence is the wall, or we have the evidence of these foundations of experience or significant emotional events. And as you said, if we undo all that stuff, the limiting belief, we fall back to self. Just self, I am. Yes. Watch the beginning of the program. Hey, Grimskull just liked my live Power Talk. Where are you, Grim? Oh, I can see on Facebook you liked it. Where are you, Grim? Sunbathing, no doubt. But I've been streaming way too long. I don't stream for over an hour. Thanks for clearing that up. I noticed that the self-belief hypnosis really helps a lot. Yeah, because it could be tied to identity. So yeah, there we go. Right, I've got a ton of work to do. Because I've got to edit this on YouTube, edit the podcast, then all the other episodes I've done, I've got to then reorder all of those and get them pre-scheduled. So great, nice little after chat. I appreciate your feedback, your questions. Always know that you are worthy enough to get the help you deserve or to make the change you want. Thank you for spending time with me on this stream. You could be doing so many other things, but you didn't. You chose to invest time in learning about yourself, which I hope you got value from. Because why not? Yes. All right, have you seen this one? I know I said I'm going. But there was like one of these meme videos, not meme. Hey, where's your wording? What the goodness? You said have a rest of your day, but it's not showing up. What have I done? What have you done? How weird. Jen, where's your wording? Because you say have a great day, enjoy your week. Anyway, very quickly, so this guy goes to an interviewer and said, would you like something like $1 billion? And there's like, yeah, of course. And then they said, I'm going to butcher this because I can't quite remember, it was a long time ago. But then they said something like, okay, would you take that $1 billion if it meant that you'd die tomorrow? And the person's like, no way I'd take $1 billion if it means that I wouldn't wake up tomorrow. And then he said, well, you know, life is worth more than $1 billion then. Like today is worth, tomorrow is worth $1 billion, because you'd never take $1 billion if it meant that you didn't exist tomorrow. So something to think about anyway. Let's see if that shows up. No, Jen, you are a ghost. You've got a ghost emoji there. I don't know what you've done. Let's see if Cheryl's shows up. Look at that. It is a ghost. Talking of ghosts. How strange. Oh, Amina's done it as well. Look, how weird is this? Because you'd think, even if it was a color, like the wording and writing wouldn't show up in a white background, but the emoji would, because that's a forced color. Oh well. Let's see if Eric does. Look at that. Stream elements, do you? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're back. Jen, say something else. You're back. Before I leave the stream, we've got to make sure the stream's fixed before we go. Ready? No. Jen's still broken. Maybe a solar flare. Just specifically for Jen. Oh well. Sorry, Jen. Just you in the end. But anyway, I've got to go now. Remember, you'd never take $1 million, $1 billion, or $10 billion if it meant we wouldn't wake up tomorrow, so you might as well treat it like it is worth the million, the 10 billion. I know I was playing there. Let's see if you've fixed. No, you've not fixed. You said broken, question mark. No, you came into the world whole, and then we just learn and integrate. Have a good one, Eric, and have a good one. Linda, thank you for your kind words. Oh, and happy belated birthday to Jen as well. There you go. And one of those. Happy birthday. There you go. Oh, this is Mark. How that works. Okay, speak to you all soon. See you on Monday. And for those in my program, I'll be speaking to you on Saturday, I think. And I've got something cool to share with you all. Reimagining our reality, in other words. So many thanks and goodbye.